Okay, so I'm Jamie Shrum. I'm the program's chair for Gone this year. I want to introduce you to a young lady who happens to serve on our board. She is secretary, but she does a lot of work. Danielle Gertner. Danielle's the founder and lead trainer at Gertner Grind, and she spends her days inspiring people to see the world as their gym and guiding them to make wellness fit their world, no matter what that world looks like. Danielle is a certified personal trainer, kettlebell specialist, and is currently studying to become a certified strength and conditioning coach and mobility specialist. We can all use some mobility. Danielle's talk is titled Own Your Grind, Tools and Resources to Take Ownership Over Your Wellness Journey. Get ready to be inspired to see the world as your gym and shatter what you know about fitness and health. She'll give you tangible tools to implement your life right away to get you a step closer to optimal health. Danielle Gertner.
That was nice. That was nice. Alrighty guys, so before I get started, I know that we never offer this, but if anybody wants seconds on food, go ahead and do that now. I know this is a health presentation. This is for you especially. Get dessert, get food, eat all you want. I'm not here to tell you not to eat. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Nobody wants seconds, really? All right, you could save it for me. I'm okay with that. All right, so how are we doing today, guys? Everyone good? All right, I'm gonna need a little more energy than that. How are we doing today? Great. All right, that's a little better. So there's two things you're gonna learn about me today. Number one, I have a lot of energy. A lot of energy. And whether you like it or not, you're gonna take some of that energy with you when you walk out the door today. And number two, you're gonna learn a lot today. And we're not gonna probably talk about what you think we're gonna talk about, but that's the most exciting part of why I do what I do, is because I like to shatter these expectations and what people know about health and wellness. So my beautiful grind turns, hey grind turns, these are grind turns, not interns, grind turns. And my partner Derek, they're handing around packets. If you are a board member, please don't take a packet. Mastermind friends, I can email it to you. And if anybody does not end up getting a packet, I think we should have enough. Please let me know, because I would love for you to have a packet and fill this out. Can you also raise your hand if you don't have a pen? Okay. Anybody want to help grab a pen? Trish, you got me? Trish has got my back. All right, I'm going to give you guys a second to grab a pen. All right, so we are going to do some work today. They should have told you that in advance. Maybe not all of you would have showed up, but I'm so glad you did. I'm so happy you're here. And before I get into my whole spiel about who I am and what I'm doing and what we're going to talk about today, I want you to close your eyes. I promise I'm not going to do anything weird to you. Just close your eyes. And I want you to set an intention for why you are here today. Why did you decide to come to this specific workshop? What's a goal that you have, something you really want to get out of this? And when you're done, you can open your eyes and high five your neighbor. Yes, high five your neighbor. Don't leave her hanging. Don't leave Melissa hanging. Awesome. So I am really big on setting intentions, and we're going to talk a lot about that as we go through this packet and why I'm really big on setting intentions. And I see some of you have opened the packet. I'm going to ask you not to open the packet, cheaters. We'll get there. We're going to get there. So my name is Danielle Gertner. I am the founder of Gertner Grind, which is a holistic wellness business inspiring people to see the world as their gym. I think nowadays we are very caught up in what we should be doing and what wellness and fitness and nutrition should look like, and it's very overwhelming. If you don't have a six-pack and a dumbbell in your hand and a cute little yoga mat and some Lululemon stuff, you're not fit. And I don't like that. I can't stand that, because not everybody's world looks the same. I'm sure your world looks a little different than mine, and your world looks a little different than mine. And wellness should be about wellness should be about that fitting your world. How do we make a wellness routine? How do we build a foundation for you that fits your lifestyle and your needs and what you like to do? Because that's what's really going to stick. So we're going to talk about a lot of that stuff today. I like to say if you have a chair in 15 minutes, we can get a really good workout in. And we're going to have a little fun with that at the end today. But I wanted to start off by asking, what is own your grind? What do you think I'm going to be talking about today? Anybody want to take a guess? Don't be shy.
Taking responsibility for your own life, actions, etc.
Precisely. Taking responsibility, owning who you are, what you do, and why you do it. Because we don't spend enough time doing that. A lot of times, and I talk about this a lot, I was a business major. I love the business school. They know I tell this story too. And when I was a business major, they welcomed me into Warrington Welcome, which is a freshman class at the University of Florida, taught me how to give a really good handshake, showed me how to make a really good resume, taught me how to dress professionally. Yeah, this is about as professional as you get me these days. But that's the beauty of owning your grind, which we'll talk about. But when I got to the business school, they very quickly put me on this conveyor belt. You're going to get a great internship, you're going to get a great job, and then we're going to ship you off into the world to, do your part. And I wasn't maybe not old enough or mature enough or aware enough that I didn't want to be on that conveyor belt. And because I was on a conveyor belt behind all of my peers, I could not see where the end of that conveyor belt was leading me to. And it wasn't until I jumped off that conveyor belt, and I jumped, a big jump, was I able to step back, slow down, and see the bigger picture, that that's not where I wanted to go. And I took ownership over that, and it was scary as hell, but I am lucky that I have the people, the support around me to do what I do and love what I do and inspire other people to do the same. And we're going to talk about that today. And I never do notes, and I don't do notes because then I think about my notes, and now I'm thinking about my notes, so I'm going to grab my notes. And I'm going to keep it here if that's okay, because I have a feeling I'm going to frequent around this area a lot. All right, so if there's anything I want you to get from the talk today, number one is we're going to own who we are, where we are, and why we do what we do. But I also want you to get that creativity is so important, not just in designing things, a packet or invitation to a really awesome event. It looks like it's going to be, Linda. But creativity when it comes to your wellness journey. Who has an hour and a half to go to the gym every day? Raise your hand. Derek, raise your hand.
Who doesn't want to?
Derek likes to go to the gym for an hour and a half. I had to pick on him. Who has 10 minutes? Everybody have 10 minutes to do some form of movement? That is what I want us to focus on. You don't go to a gym? Anybody not have a gym membership? Probably a lot of people. Do you have a chair? You have a chair? A bike. Oh my God, even better. There's so many ways that you can incorporate wellness in your life, and so we're going to get creative. The other thing I really want you to get from this is the importance of initiative. You guys are all, you gals, and some guys, are all go-getters, right? Why else would you be in this room? And you've seen the impact of initiative in your lives every day, but we don't always use that same initiative when it comes to our wellness journey, and I know the reason why, and it's because we're not connected to why we should move and take care of ourselves. And we're going to do a lot of deep digging to find that why, which is individual to you. Your why is probably different than her why and probably different than his why. And that's important. This is an individual journey. And the last thing that I want you to get from this is self-assurance, the importance of self-assurance. I don't expect you to know how to deadlift, burpee, sprint 100 meters in 10 seconds. That's okay. But I want you to own where you are, appreciate where you are, and appreciate the goals that you're going to set for yourself today. And go after them and be confident and happy about those goals and where they're going to take you. Everyone sound good? Yes? Okay, cool. So what does own your grind even mean? So my training style, a lot of people ask me, so if we're going to meet up, we're going to go to the gym, or tell me about nutrition. The first thing and it's probably what you guys are expecting we're going to talk about today. Courtney was laughing. I was like, I'm going to eat a bunch of dessert while you're talking the whole time. Please do it. I want to see you do it. And we're not talking about that today. Eat everything you want. I'm a big believer in balance. But the first thing I take any of my clients through is building a foundation of positive habits. Anything that you do that you've been successful at, you probably have some good habits. Goal setting maybe, waking up early, making your bed in the morning, whatever it is. And we're going to build those habits, sometimes very small habits. Let me drink 1 extra bottle of water today than I did yesterday. And that leads to a foundation that you'll have for the rest of your life. So if you ever work with me as a client, be prepared to see this packet or something similar, because that's where it really starts. So many people fail through this wellness. Has anybody hopped on the wellness train and then like hopped off for a long time and then like hopped back on? Yes, raise your hand. Loud and proud, self-assurance here. It happens. And the reason I know it's happening is because you have not found the wellness foundation that works for you and your life and your world and your needs and your whatever excites you. You haven't found it because there hasn't been a person or a trainer that's guided you to show you how to find it. Today's your lucky day because I'm your girl and I got your back. And we're going to work through that today with some of the things that I have in this packet. All right, so let's go ahead and open it. Let's go ahead and start with, well, where do I start, Danielle? You're telling me all this fancy stuff. What's the first thing I should do? I say the first thing you should do is start where you are. Right here, right now. And I want you to take a moment. We're going to write a lot. We're not going to get through everything for time's sake. But I want you to take a moment, and I want you to write down, where are you now? Who is you in this moment? Who is you? That's not proper English, but that's why I'm a personal trainer. Who are you in this moment? Whatever it is. And it's individual to you. Write whatever you want. And then on the other side of that is, where do you want to be? Where is there? Where is this goal, this optimal health, wellness? What does that person look like? And I want you to be specific as you can. Where am I now, and where do I want to be? Don't worry about the people around you. Everybody's at a different point in their lives. Everybody has things that they want to work on. And that's a great thing. Who wants to.
Perspective to fitness or just in life in general?
This, you can do life in general. It's your packet. I'm going to talk about the wellness side of it, but it's your packet. You can have whatever twists you want on it. If you feel like, you know what, I really want to talk about where I am as a whole, then that's what's speaking to you, then I say do it. Everybody else wellness, though. No, I'm just kidding. Find something in your life, in your body, in this point that you're at, that you just really appreciate about yourself. And I want you to share it with your table. And I want you to share it like it's the biggest accomplishment that you've ever achieved in your entire life. It's okay. It's share, own, celebrate. That's what I like to hear. So really important, again, because everyone's heard of analysis paralysis, right? Has anyone never heard of analysis paralysis before? So what can happen is, you see a goal, and I'm going to pick on Derek again. I'll use him as an example because Derek's my workout partner, and we do a lot of stuff together. There's a lot of things he's way better than me at. Yeah. And I'll watch him, and a couple months ago, I would have been like, man, I can't get there. There's so many things I have to do in order to get to the place that he's at, and then you start this cycle of talk in your head, and before you know it, a month went by. I could have been at his level, and I'm going to get there. You better watch out. I'm a ninja. Don't worry, Bob. I'm going to try out one day. Bob really wants me to do American Ninja Warrior. I don't think I'm good enough for that, but I appreciate the support. But this analysis paralysis, right? Does anybody feel it now? Is there a huge gap between where you are now and where you want to go, and you're like, holy crap? There's got a long way to go. It's normal to feel that way, but I want you to stop and block out that noise, because all that matters is the step that you take today when you leave this room, the step that you take tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and before you know it, you'll be at that there point, and you're going to be, man, how the heck did I get here? I mean, think about how fast your life has gotten to the point where you are now. You wake up, and you're like, holy shit. How did I get here? Just like that. And that analysis paralysis thing, you gotta catch yourself in that moment, because it's draining. It drains the energy that you could use towards your goals to get to where you want to go. So that's part one. Where am I now? Where do I want to go? But now let's talk about the why. And I apologize, I cursed in my packet. Just put a star over it if you don't approve. Just put a star over it. So we're going to get really, really, really crystal clear. Because again, like I mentioned before, I think one of the biggest issues that we face, we know that we need to take care of our bodies, right? Like I don't have to stand up here and be like, hey, you should take care of yourself. Like, duh, I want to live a long time. At least I hope a lot of you, most of you do. So we know we're supposed to, but that's not always the driving why behind what we do. And that's okay. But you have to find that why. And so we're going to do that now. So on the bottom somewhere, I didn't give you very much room, but what is driving you to make this change? Why do you want to go from where I am now to where I want to be in the future? What is the why? So I want you to write that why. And then when you write that why, I want you to ask yourself, why did I write that why? So if you say, I'm going to give a silly example, but I want to lose 20 pounds. Super fitnessy example. Okay, well, I want to lose 20 pounds because I want to feel better. Well, why do you want to feel better? Because I feel uncomfortable when I'm around my family. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Why do you feel uncomfortable around around your family? Because I realize I don't ever feel like they've accepted me for my body type and how I look. So you get the point. We're getting to the deeper root and core of what's actually driving this change beyond what we think is driving the change or we think should be driving the change, which is I need to be healthy. Maybe that's not your why. So take another moment. What is the why for why you're going from this point to the next point? And then break that down a couple levels. Why is that your why? And then why is that your why again? Until you get to a place where you can't have another broken down level because you've gotten to the core of it. 1, 2, 3, go. Yes, a lot of reflecting today, I know. My job's easy. I just get to talk for like 3 minutes at a time. I can handle that. All right, so we're going to keep this short and sweet. So now that you have your why, and if you're still working on it, it's okay. You get to take this packet home. I want you to flip to the next side. So another thing we all know that I don't have to really repeat to you is that life happens, right? We all have self-doubt, other people doubting us, not believing in our dreams. Some of us are very lucky to have people who believe in our dreams. But sometimes we can be, and a lot of times we are, our biggest barrier to getting to where we want to go. I'm not smart enough for that. I have so long to go. I have so many, the journey is going to be so long. I'm not good enough, whatever it is. So what I want you to write down now on the top of this page are what are your negative beliefs, the doubts, the thoughts that you have about making this change. And then below that, what are the power words to combat those negative beliefs and thoughts that you have about yourself and this journey that you're about to embark on? Because you're going to embark on this journey. Did you know that? Yeah? When you walk out that door, the journey begins. Actually, we'll say it begins now. She caught me. And be honest with yourself, ladies and gentlemen. It is okay. We all have them. Every person around you is writing because everybody has their own negative beliefs and thoughts and whatever else comes up. But we're going to kick the crap out of those. It's the only way to do it. Own it and release it. Done? That was fat. Ninja speed. Ninja speed. All right, if you finish, which we have some ninjas in the room besides me, you can go ahead and flip to the next page, which is your potential barriers. So this is where the life happens comes in, right? Where your world looks a lot different than mine. Who is a parent? Raise your hand. Okay, parent of young children. Okay, I don't have kids yet, but I imagine it probably takes a lot out of you to raise a child. And that child, from what I heard, is supposed to come before yourself. So I heard. Is that true? Okay. So a lot of times your child or your spouse or your job, whatever it is, takes priority over you. And not that they're negative things, but they are barriers to the goals that you're trying to achieve. And it's okay to label them as that. Doesn't mean I hate you, you're blocking where I want to go, but you are a potential barrier. And these barriers are going to happen whether you want them to or not. They're there, And so what I want you to do is write down 3 potential obstacles or barriers that are going to stop you from getting to the place that you want to go. And then right under each barrier, I want you to write your plan to kick the shit out of those barriers. That's actually what I wrote on the packet. I won't curse anymore, I promise. No, I can't. I take that back. I don't promise. I had my toes crossed. So what are the barriers? What are the obstacles? And how are you going to overcome it? Because that's so important. Has anybody read the book, The Power of Habit? We've talked about this many times. If you have not read the book, The Power of Habit, put it on the top of your list now because it's a phenomenal book. And in the book, I know I'm asking you to multitask here, listen to me and write. But in the book, they have this really awesome study that they did about patients who just had a hip replacement, something like that. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. But they had hip replacements. They were in the hospital recovering, and they encouraged them to write down their goals and write down the barriers that could inhibit them achieving these goals and what they plan to do about those barriers. And those that wrote down their goals healed quicker than those that didn't. But those that wrote down their goals and the potential barriers and the way they're going to kick the out of those barriers healed 40% faster than those who didn't. It was incredible. The story is incredible. They tell the story about a man, and he really wanted to walk his wife home from the bus stop. But he couldn't, obviously, because he was in a hospital bed with a hip replacement. And anytime he'd walk, it would be in excruciating pain. And so these barriers that he wrote down, the pain, and I usually get very tired when I hit this milestone. And so he wrote down, how do I plan to combat these barriers? When he felt the pain, he said, I'm going to think about my wife getting off the bus and seeing me stand there. I just almost cried because it's a very emotional story. And then he said, okay, and then I know I usually get tired at this point. How am I going to overcome that barrier? I know I only have, 0.3 miles left to go when I hit that point, and I know I can push through. And so when you have a plan B, when life happens, it's like, I got this. Okay, maybe not as cool, calm, and collected as that, but you're like, okay, I've thought through this at least a little bit. And it makes that barrier not as scary. It makes that barrier not seem as high. And those are the things that we need to focus on so that you can get to where you want to go. So did everybody do the barriers, or take a moment, want to do the barriers? And again, if you feel like you want to do this in the privacy of your own home, I can dig it. You can do that. You can have this back now. I think we got through the whole packet. We did good. Thank you. So take a moment, if you haven't already, write down those barriers and write down where you want to go. Who wrote time? Who wrote time? Oh, everybody. Hey, it's okay. I love it. I love it. But I'm going to challenge you. Think about the 3 ways you spend the majority of your time right now in your life. Family, whatever it is. Work. I don't want to know your answer. What did he say? Oh, Facebook. Okay. Or LinkedIn. I was going to say Bob, probably LinkedIn. So you spend your time in those areas for a reason, right? It is a priority to you. Guys, I'm going to ask you to bring it back in. I'm good at that. I'm not afraid to do that. Hey, listen to me. Thank you. I'm not afraid. You spend the majority of your time there because it's a priority to you. And the whole point of you filling out this packet is to figure out, what do you need to do to make wellness a priority in your life? Because it needs to be. We all know that when we eat better, when we sleep more, when we move our body, it doesn't mean you have to touch a weight, but when we do those things, we perform better in life. We feel better in life. It just seems like the universe just answers us better in life when we take care of ourselves. Because the universe wants you to take care of yourself in whatever way you can. And we're going to get into more of the workout portion of this. Okay, he's telling me 5 minutes left. Oh, he's good. Don't worry. He's got me on point. But when it comes to, now I lost my train of thought. Look what you did, man. Look what you did. I'm just kidding. I told him to tell me 5 minutes left. But these priorities, this energy that you feel when you take care of yourself, can be created by you. And what I was going to say is I'm not going to stand up here and tell you that you need to go to the gym for an hour or you need to, get a six-pack, but I am going to encourage you to move your body in some way, shape, or form to fuel your body in a better way than probably what you do now. And it could be something as simple as I'm just going to drink more water, or I'm going to eat a better breakfast 2 times out of the week. Whatever it is, something small to get you to that next step. And that's the last thing I want you to write on your packet, and then we're going to do a little fun activity. What is one thing you can do today when you walk out of this room to get you one step closer to that goal, that this is where I want to be, that you wrote on the front of the packet? What's one small thing? Maybe you need to work on mental health, and part of that is calling somebody that has been on your mind for a while. That's health and wellness to me. What's one thing you can do? Nobody's writing. You're all looking at me. What are you looking at me for? I can't tell you. She already wrote it. I love it. All right, we're going to do one more thing, and then I'm going to shut up, and I'll be done. Last thing we're going to do, we're going to have some fun. So at your table, I have a challenge for you. If somebody could be the writer, or you could do it on your phone and text it to me afterwards, but I'm going to pick a winning table. I want you to use something in this room to write a workout. Together as a group, you can do write 3 exercises, we'll say. Pick something in the room that you can use to do we'll say a 10-minute workout, because a lot of people said, I have 10 minutes. Something in the room, 10 minutes. You don't actually have to do the workout. You can just write it down. Awesome. So point proven, right? Creativity. Creativity when you approach your wellness journey, you do not need anything fancy. And if a trainer tells you otherwise, fire them and call me. Because that's not the person you need. If you want a wellness foundation to stick with you forever, you have to be creative. You have to adapt because your life is going to change. Your schedule probably won't be the same today in 3 years. At least I'd hope not. I hope something changes and spices up a little bit. And you have to be adaptable to that and have fun. Where did the fun go in wellness? It kills me inside that it's on our to-do list as a chore instead of our get-to-do list as a reward. Because that's what it should be. I get to do this. You have one body, you have one mind, you have one heart, and you deserve to live the best, absolute best life that you possibly can. And unfortunately, we live in a world, in a society that doesn't always provide those positive things for us. You can go get McDonald's whenever you want. You can watch crap on TV. There are a lot of great things, but what's shoved in our face all the time is the not so good stuff. So you have to take ownership over it, because if you don't, if you leave it up to somebody else to do it for you, then they're writing you plans that you don't stick to. You spend all your money and you're like, damn, I paid that trainer like $500 and don't even go to the sessions. Or you buy this protein powder that you didn't even like in the first place. Whatever it is. You need to learn who you are and understand who you are so well and design a wellness journey around that. And that is what it means to own your grind. Thank you guys so much for your time. Really appreciate it.